So I'm an emergency room physician and been to some wilderness medicine conferences. One thing you hear over and over again is that you can live 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Well, we walked a couple of miles to dinner. It was a good supper, good dinner. I don't remember the name of the place. Do you remember the name of the place? Cocino
El Casino or something like that?
Yeah. Anyway, we're having a hard time deciding what to do tomorrow because it's supposed to be a wide range of temperature between 47 and 49. Not a big range. Winds gusting of 32 and 100% chance of rain all day. And that goes on for 48 hours. So we're just walking back to our agriturismo and trying to decide what to do. Over that big mountain right up ahead. So we thought we might be able to stay an extra night or two here. And they said, we're full, good luck. Well, there could be a lot of arguing and bickering today because I was unsuccessful in finding a hotel room. They were all full in these towns. So off we go. Nobody said it was a good idea, just the only idea. At the top of this mountain, my GPS says we've gone about 290 meters up, which feels like a lot. And if you were to look through these trees, which we'll do, there's a lake way down there. And I rode around that lake looking for a camp spot. That was about 3 hours ago now. But we're making it. We come up about 1,000 feet, I guess. Feels like more. Man, the roaring coming through the hills and trees is a little bit scary. But we're making it okay.
This is how we spent our day, at least the first 3 hours, going straight up a hill.
A mountain. Anything to say to the camera?
It's hard.
Yeah. I don't have anything encouraging to say at all.
This does remind me of backpacking.
The rigors of it.
Yes, and not really knowing, well, backpacking was more like we had a route, but we weren't really sure if we were on it.
Yep.
You know?
Yes. Look, another climb. 90% of this hill, I think in 2 kilometers, we get to have some downhill. It's been a tough morning. The top. What? Reserva Natural. I think we're at the top. It's downhill, Lord willing.
Look, a little free library and a church.
Not the video I wanted to record. I like to record about how amazing we are and how clever we are and such like that. But it brought us into a not great situation. I wish we had a little more warmth and a little more food, so we planned very well. We didn't make it to our end point. I planned to make it 18 or 19 miles. It's mostly downhill from here, but we climbed straight up so much today that we couldn't make it. So we're stuck behind this church. It's pouring rain, blowing wind, probably, I don't know, low 40s. So, anyway, but Susie's being a trooper.
I'm warm.
she's warm. Her feet are always warm. My feet are always cold, so I got cold feet. I got moccasins, 2 pairs of socks, man. It's terrible. All right, bye guys. Thanks for your prayers for us.
Here's where we stayed last night, behind the back of this church. Here's our tent. And our bikes.
In this corner that's beside you.
Little stream.
Well, we didn't film much this morning because we woke up nice and toasty in the tent, but man, it's still pouring rain. It's 49 degrees. We didn't reach our destination last night, but it's still 6 more miles. We don't have any food. I think we have 1 apple and a couple of pieces of chocolate. Bye. Google said that this was where our bed and breakfast is. We knocked on a couple of doors. See the 57 way back there? So as you come through this little alleyway, what's the name? Borgo Masorana. And there's the entrance. Very sweet people. And a beautiful place. Bellissimo. I'm so thankful. So thankful. Be nice to get a shower and warm feet. So thankful.
Look at this beautiful view of the lake. It's still raining and then we're up above the clouds.
So I'm an emergency room physician and been to some wilderness medicine conferences. One thing you hear over and over again is that you can live 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. But for us yesterday, we were riding in soaking wet conditions. Wind was blowing probably 40 miles an hour. And the temperature was hovering right around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. So for us, the biggest deal was the 3 hours without shelter. So when we started getting ready to ride, I was pretty cognizant to not wear things that I wanted to get warm with later. So we were trying to focus on keeping our bags dry, our sleeping bags dry, our puffy jackets, our insulated jackets dry. So we had rain gear on. Even though they get damp inside, it wasn't the direct rain that was continually bathing and cooling us. So we had our rain gear on. But once we got to the campsite, we got all of our wet, cold clothes off and got into clothes that we had saved to warm up. So warm, dry socks, long johns, warm shirt, puffy jackets, and our sleeping bags, and got ourselves up off the ground so that we could maintain our body temperature. After 30 minutes, we felt like new people. So just an encouragement. Susie had worn her warmest socks actually to ride in, thinking that that would keep her warm. Problem was that we were riding bikes, so her feet were soaking within 2 minutes. There was a little bit of conflict when I encouraged her to not use her warmest socks, but at any rate, I wore my regular Keen sandals with light socks, and they were wet all day, but it was really only from the ankles down, right? The rest of me was nice and dry, and then was able to switch into some nice thick wool socks at the end. So anyway, just encouragement.